Hey, this is Commander Bacon
And Shelly.
with His Way Homestead, and today we're going to talk about what we feed our rabbits and how much we feed our rabbits. Stay tuned. All right, so we feed our rabbits a commercial pellet that is non-medicated, that is 16% protein. You want at least 16%. If you can get 18%, that's better, especially for the grow outs. But the big thing that's critically important is how much you feed them.
Right.
So if you feed them too much, what happens?
They get fat and
I'm fat.
they can't carry any litters, and so they're worthless to us.
They become sterile, basically. They will not become pregnant.
Right. And we don't want that, so.
Yeah. So the amount that you feed them is...
All right. Here is my handy dandy cup. And what you want to do is just
I got butter on my mustache. Sorry.
I made them homemade rolls.
Homemade rolls with butter,
and corn cob jelly.
And corn cob jelly. It was awesome.
Yeah. So this is my handy dandy measuring cup. See this line? For regular does that are not pregnant, not nursing, they get 6 ounces of food.
And that's by weight.
That is weight. So I took my cup into the kitchen, used my kitchen scales to weigh out how much would fit in this cup that's at 6 ounces. And so I have a line there. It's a little bit darker.
More than that.
See,
I've been filling the cup up.
That's why he's not allowed to do things. Whenever they're pregnant, I fill the cup up. So pregnant does get a full cup, which is 8 ounces.
Most of ours are pregnant, so I'm okay.
But not all of them.
Not all of them.
If they are nursing, or if they have babies in there with them, sometimes the babies are bigger and they quit nursing, they get free food. So we just keep it full as much as we can and they will eat it. So you want to show them some of the... All right. See this girl? She is very, very pregnant. See how big and fat she is? She's so pretty though. But she is very pregnant, so she gets 8 ounces. You don't want my hand in there?
No.
This girl is not big and fat, and she is not pregnant, so she gets 6 ounces. Hi, girl. Next in line.
And while we're at it, so these are J feeders with a screen in the bottom. So the screen, I don't know if you can see that, the screen helps keep the dust from the feed out of them. The rabbits don't like it. They'll actually snort it in their lungs while they're eating sometimes. So you don't want a solid bottom feeder. You want a screen in it. So let me turn the camera around.
Right. These guys are still nursing when Mama lets them. And they'll attach back there and she'll get mad and she'll jump to this side and drop them down in the bottom. But these guys have free food. See that? So we keep food in there, but we keep this shut because these guys are small enough whenever this is empty, they can climb out.
They'll jump in that part where the food is, come up through the inside, and come out of this part.
And we will find them on the ground running around with the chickens, which is not a good idea.
And that's if they don't get hurt from the fall,
right.
too. So that's a big problem.
These guys who think they are starving get free food too. But the problem is they're all big and hungry and it's hard to keep food in there for them. So I'll give them some more food now. And they can just eat as much as they want to. These are pretty much, I don't think they're nursing anymore.
Yeah, they're probably about ready to separate.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much weaned. Hey, don't eat my shirt. So, anyway, these guys get free food, so we'll put that in there. But that's a good example of every different feed ration.
Now, what about the boys in the back?
The boys.
We talked about the girls. What about the boys?
There's one of our big old boys. Hey, boy. He gets 6 ounces a day. And for some reason, both of my boys don't eat a lot. I very rarely come out here and their food is empty. So they get 6 ounces. I guess they're eating what they need to.
This is the female next to him.
Yep.
And you can see that she wants to get over to him, and she's rubbing the fur off her nose. So we're gonna put a metal divider here so that they're not tempted anymore.
So let's talk about hay really quickly.
Hay.
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 Let's talk about hay.
You can feed your rabbits Timothy hay. We buy mixed grass hay for our rabbits. We don't feed it to them for feed. We use it as bedding, and they will eat it as they want to. But we don't just free feed hay. A lot of people do, and that's fine if you want to. You don't have to.
They even make like a thing to hold a bunch of hay and stuff inside the cage where they can eat as much as they want.
Yeah, we have hay feeders. We just don't use them.
We don't use them.
Right now, I'm supplementing. I go and pick the corn stalks that are spent, but they're still green. I pick those every morning, and everybody gets at least 2 of the really long corn leaves. And these guys that have babies, I give them the stalks so everybody can chew on them through the day. And the other thing we have is, what do you call it?
Ragweed.
Ragweed. I was like, snotweed? That is not it.
Snot ragweed.
Yes. I'm just thinking of sneezing.
Yeah.
We have ragweed in the back, and the chickens burrow and stay under it during the day to keep cool. And I go and pick limbs off that for the rabbits, and they love it. It's really good protein for them. But you don't want to overfeed greens or anything like that if they're not used to them. I give them, like I said, 1 or 2 corn leaves, or 1 or 2 leaves off the ragweed. That's it. You don't want to go from not feeding any greens to filling up their cage. That will cause digestive issues and can kill them. That can cause bloat.
Yeah, they have pretty sensitive digestive systems.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it, but they do.
They do. Oh, look at our babies over here. Another thing that you need to be aware of, you need to be very consistent with the brand, the type of food that you're giving them. If you switch foods, if your supplier switches or they don't have yours, you need to mix the food, 50% of the old food and 50% of the new food, as long as you can, until you're completely switched over to the new food. You don't want to be changing brands often. You want to stick with the same one as much as possible, because again, any big changes in the diet causes digestive issues.
Yep.
So
you don't want digestive issues with rabbits.
No.
It can kill them.
It can. So
you
that's
gotta
all
be,
I got.
Got to be very careful. Okay, so I hope that helps out any new rabbit owners, Tim. And
consider this your text,
yeah,
Tim.
This is better than a text. So
the duck thinks it's funny.
So if a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So it's worth 1,000,000 words. So, but yeah, we just wanted to say that because it can be a problem, and it can be something that you need to be aware of. Rabbits are sensitive with their digestive systems, and you got to be careful what you do feed them. Like I said, you don't want to overdo anything.
Right.
You want to maintain consistency. You don't want to overfeed them. It doesn't look like a lot of food for some of these rabbits. They're pretty big animals, but it's enough for them.
And they'll act like they're starving.
Yeah, they're big fakers.
Always,
big
they act
fakers.
like they're starving. Even if they have food in their feeder, they'll come up like they're starving.
And we found this out because we overfed.
Yes.
Because they acted like they were starving, and we fed them. We're like, oh, okay, you hungry again? Okay. Because we thought they knew better. No, they're just a bunch of moochers. So we gave them what they were asking for, and they ended up not being able to breed. So that's a problem when you have meat rabbit breeders, and they can't breed. So we got to be very careful with how much we feed them, and to take good care of them.
She keeps licking my fingers.
All right, so that's all we got today. You want to raise your finger, point to the air? Don't forget, his way is the best way. We'll see you next time. God bless.